Insert disc 2.
Okay, Aaron, what have you done today?
Well, I drove an hour to work, an hour to prison.
Which prison was this?
I'd rather not go into bad mouthing the prisons.
Okay, we
by
won't name
name,
them.
but let's
That's
just say
probably a good
they're all
idea.
horrible.
Okay.
Then I went to a dispatch office, and the gimmick I was working on broke. So I had to drive all the way back, an hour and 20 minutes back to home base, get another instrument, drive all the way an hour and 20 minutes the other way, install the dude, wait for an hour until it warmed up, run the tests on it, and then haul as much tail as a man's ever hauled, especially with as much tail as I got, back to home base, drop off the work truck, hop in the Jeep, and then drive an hour to your house. That's been my day. Non-stop, total action. The whole way back, I was guzzling Diet Dewdrop Extremes and listening to Offspring just to get in the mood.
that's
I'm
the
ready.
best kind of pre-gaming to
Yes,
do for
sir.
amigos.
And now I've got myself here
but,
Crown Royal Ride.
But this was
going.
not the scenario that you sketched out for me when we talked on the phone earlier today.
That's true. I thought it would be much more boned. Well, actually, I sort of deferred some of the work until Monday to try to make it back. I hate to miss a live show with my brothers and sisters out there, and it sounds corny, but I do hate to miss.
Sure.
You know that, and
Yeah.
so in fact, I never miss. I can't stand it, and so I just tried as fast as I could to get, especially when you tell people you're going to be on. I feel like a jerk if something happens, but I did tell you it'd be, what, 8 or 9?
Yeah. So I informed the Discord crew.
Well, listen,
And,
it was insanity. It was insanity. And like I said, I deferred 2 hours of labor till Monday. So I'll be back on the road Monday, but here's to today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's looking up your old address, by the way. Ooh.
What do you think of the rye?
Apple juice. Straight up apple juice. Delicious.
Smooth.
Those are good apples.
All right, Aaron, we got mail.
You've got mail.
Remember that? You never had AOL.
I did have
did
AOL.
you?
It was the only way to go on the internet in West Virginia for a while.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mm.
The World Wide Web. I should say.
CompuServe not available in West Virginia?
CompuServe didn't cover the internet for a long time until they got bought. CompuServe was its own
They
service.
were their own sort
That's
of.
right.
I see. Yeah, I guess we had AOL. That was our first thing, but I assumed that there was something else. What about Telnet? Does that have anything to do with the internet?
Well,
Like the World Wide Web?
You quit while you're ahead, Bo. I just used Telnet the other day.
You know, it's funny. We went out to dinner with Flack last weekend.
Oh, isn't that nice? How is Jack Flack these days?
He's doing quite well.
New house.
He's in the process of moving. I met his wife for the first time.
Oh,
his
yeah?
wife is awesome.
Oh yeah.
She's great lady. She puts up with his nonsense quite well. Just as he puts up with my nonsense quite well. But they are in the process of moving. But Flack he was telling my brother about how he just gotten his master's degree in creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, you wrote a book. And Paul, my brother, was like, well, what did you write a book about? He's like, well, it's all about Commodore. And then all of a sudden I could see in my brother's eyes. My brother's 6 years younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I could see, no response. Then he's like, it was all about getting on the BBS back in the day. How you just BBS and there was it was over. my brother had no idea what he was talking about. So,
it's funny. First of all, Flack is just like me in a lot of ways. I listen to his shows, and I go back and re-listen to a lot of them. And he was a Commodore kid, and I was more a Coco kid. But in terms of the BBSing and the trying your hand at phone freaking and hacking and all the stupid crap you do, we were very similar. The book, I read the book. I'm like, yeah, I can identify with the book. But I can see where people wouldn't know what it was now. But it's funny because just in the past week, I was on a BBS, and I telnetted to it, by the way, hilariously. And it was an Amiga BBS, and it was great. It was just like the old days, sort of. And this guy who put it together, I just saw a post he put up on the Amiga Facebook page. And 2 weeks ago, he put it up and then took it down because he had some problems. But apparently, it's back up and ready to go. So it was fun. It was fun. BBS is still sort of fun, but it ain't going to replace nothing. It's a time that it's one of those things, sort of like using a switchboard or a party line. Like, it was wacky. Those days are never coming back.
Yeah.
And so all you can do is talk about it and try to explain it to somebody, but they're not going to get it.
I would like you, if that new Amiga BBS ever comes to fruition,
It's fruition.
Oh, okay.
It's up and running now. Yeah.
Well, you should definitely live stream yourself playing the door games and doing
the last
the fun
time I
stuff.
tried the door games, they were not up to fruition yet.
Okay.
But trust me, I haven't checked since he put it back up. I'm going to door the hell out of it.
Yeah, I want to see that live stream.
He's got Pimp Wars on there.
I want to see soup to nuts connecting to the because I've never seen anybody connect to a BBS before.
Well, this is not the normal way you would do it. This is going to the internet.
I want to see the acoustic coupler.
I don't have an acoustic coupler. That sounds like something weird.
I don't even feel like I know.
It sounds like a guy that sets up dates.
An acoustic coupler.
Yeah, that'd be a good name for like a dating service.
Maybe like a traveling musician.
Yeah, he has an acoustic guitar.
That hooks people
That's how he hooks people up through their love of it.
Yeah, I could do that.
My
vocal skills.
Do you think you have the jack to be?
I bring people together just through my Patreon song every week. There are several new couples that emerged.
How many have split up because of that song?
That's another story.
I want to divorce you 20 or 30 times. We're not legally married.
So why don't you crack this thing open?
Aaron? Yeah, this came out of nowhere. What do we got here, Boat? Chris Folds. Look at all the.
Yeah, England addresses are at least 17 or 18
Leicestershire.
lines long.
What is this number here?
It's it's a postcode. It's like
it looks like a license plate number.
It does.
Folds had to put his license on here to make sure that we got this.
That's what they do.
Now this has been cut open. Have you actually looked in here yet?
I looked in there to get an idea of whether it should be on insert disc 2 or
What, you afraid he sits in Playboys or something over here?
Well, you never know with old Folds.
All right, let's make sure I got everything on the open.
I think you say it Leicestershire. Leicestershire. Because there's
Isn't that a Beatles song? Where it's no, it's
4,000 holes.
That's it.
Apple Derbyshire.
Unleash the hero in you. Oh, okay, yeah, man. This is a advertisement for an amusement park. That's right. All right.
Looks like something your kid would be into.
Look at this.
Unleashing the hero in you.
Now, this I've heard about, of course. Thomas Land.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Thomas tours America. We should probably show these to other people.
Yeah.
Of course, Thomas
home of the heroes.
Thomas is British by, I don't know why I used a French accent to say that.
Was that what that was?
We all from Britain, I'm going to insult 20 different continents today. But that's Thomas Land. Look at the size of that Thomas Land there. It's amazing they derived that much jack out of Thomas.
Oh,
the kid loves Thomas. He used to. I know he's grown out of Thomas.
Yeah, there comes a time. It's a sad time.
I can't wait to show him this. Look, there's Sir Topham Hatt, the real guy. Mm-hmm. I could be a Sir Topham Hatt.
You could be. When they reboot Thomas.
If they ever do like a filthy version, I'm in.
I think they did. It was when George Carlin was the.
Oh, now here we go. Now this I'd read about. Fusion. Issue 1. Oh, boy. Now this is tremendous, Boat. Have you heard about Fusion in this magazine?
What is this magazine?
It's just like a retro magazine.
Okay.
Man. Here, have a look at that.
It says retro, current, indie, tabletop toys. This sounds like everything that I love in life.
Now, this is what I think it is. It's glorious, Boat. This is a magazine devoted to snooker.
Oh, man.
The Pot Black Magazine. Win a snooker table and a trip to the Regal Masters.
Look at that guy on the cover.
This is how I would play right
there. And you got to be smoking at least a couple of those on the back cover at the same time. Yeah.
You got to get the big whiff in there. Now, Boat, this looks tremendous. Look at this guy. The first page out. Let me find out.
I kind of hope there's like a centerfold.
See this guy? This right here is your champion.
It's your classic snooker player right there.
That takes me back to a time I never experienced it. Although the hair,
I experience it often on YouTube.
Oh, look at this. Look at that.
Oh, there he is. It's Jimmy White.
Jimmy White.
Yeah.
Looking serious as a heart attack, brother.
That one, I bet that one flew off the shelves.
Oh, man.
They didn't even put text on the front of it. They didn't have to.
Have you ever read one of these magazines? This is from December.
I've never seen one of these. This is from 89.
This one's from 88. And this is when he was riding high, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen a snooker magazine, and I will read this cover to cover because I just love it, and I love the pictures.
Oh, I think this is him again.
You know, every single room I've ever seen in a home that has a snooker table has always had some china and a grandfather clock in it as well.
Look at the concentration right there. I love it. Look at that, Boat. Look at that
hair.
I know.
Look at those flowing locks.
I mean, I'm so jealous. You know, it's funny. I've gotten into a bad habit. You know, I'll watch a lot of those fail videos. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. But something else I like watching is incredible pressure snooker shots.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing is, I'm still a little flaky on the rules. But if they say it's a pressure situation and they kind of give you the setup, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's great. And one thing I like about it is when these guys, a lot of them, not all of them, but when they actually make a big shot, they don't just like calmly walk off like a golf guy. They're like, oh, they turn around to the crowd, they're beating their chest, drinking, and people are going, hey,
It's a celebratory atmosphere.
That's what bugs me about a lot of sports. Like tennis is a good example. People should lose their minds more. No, you can't. Or golf.
There's actually an advertising campaign. I just saw a commercial. Maybe you've seen this too. With baseball players, they're trying to loosen up the image. It used to be Kirk Gibson. That was all you could do was the old fist bump when you hit a home run. Now you've got a lot of the new guys that are adding the more celebratory things.
Look at this guy.
So it's starting to change.
Bill Werbeknik. Look at this guy.
Oh boy.
See that dude? That's my guy right there.
He looks like
a big. He's
one of Onslow's friends from Keeping Up Appearances.
Sure as I'm sitting here, he's got a big old
Stein,
thing of beer.
Yep.
Like that big, and probably like a ham sandwich right there.
Yep.
Or whatever pub food these guys. Look at. Oh, there's a chick. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Allison
What threw
Fisher.
me was the hair.
Yeah,
exactly
it was the same in the 80s. Or I guess this is 91, so we've moved on a little bit.
No, it's still the 80s. You know what I mean?
They've dropped the oh no they haven't. I was going to say they've dropped the cigarette advertising, but they haven't. It's still there. Embassy.
You're talking about baseball and the guys, the little fist pump. Of course, to be fair, Kirk Gibson won the World Series with a home run, a miracle home run while he was mauled.
Oh sure.
But in baseball, I don't know how much American baseball that any of you guys watch, but
none.
There's a tradition in baseball that when you hit a home run, you don't celebrate that much.
Right.
And you definitely don't. What you definitely don't do is take a wide turn of first base.
Mm-hmm.
What that usually will get you is the next player up, or maybe a couple of players down. The pitcher will plunk them, hit them with the ball.
Oh yeah.
And inevitably, sometime down the road, that team will get their hit back by hitting another guy on the other team, and it often will start a big, huge brawl.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have taken such a wide turn or bad-mouthed the dugout that they've started a brawl right there.
It's the best part of the game.
And it's unlike hockey or something where you've got big bruises. These baseball players shouldn't be fighting for the most part.
David Wells out there.
They look like big. They don't look like fighters. Now, I mean, here in the 90s where you had like your McGuire.
Oh yeah.
They were like these big monsters that would come out with arms that big and raw on HGH.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight those guys, but luckily they couldn't hurt you. Be like, fighting these guys. I remember Nolan Ryan plunked a guy. I'll never forget this. And he charged him out. Nolan Ryan was this pitcher. He's known, very famous pitcher for strikeouts in America. And
5,000 strikeouts.
But this guy, by this time, he was an old man. But he was just a fastball pitcher, stick around.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy charged at this old man, and that old man had been around the block. And I can't remember what the player was, but he grabbed this sucker at a headlock because the guy charged him. Because baseball, generally, when they charge the mound, it's one of those deals where they put their head down and just kind of rumble out like a Popeye versus Blue Dove.
It's really ridiculous.
And so Nolan Ryan grabbed this guy at a headlock and just rabbit punched him about 16 times. And the guy just tipped over as the teams came out to help, And no one was going to punch Nolan Ryan. He's a legend.
Oh, man. We got to post that link in the Discord. Everybody needs to watch that. I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
I know I've told this story, but with the very first night my family got a VCR, the first thing I ever taped was the Reds taking on somebody. And Rob Dibble was pitching. Now, this is back when the Reds, this is, 90-ish. And Rob Dibble was a huge relief pitcher, and he was a big guy, probably 6'6", big monster. And he hit a guy, and the guy charges the mound. And the announcers go, oh, you don't want to do that. Rob Dibble's a black belt. And this guy came out, and Rob Dibble just murdered him.
Wow.
Murdered him. Because Rob Dibble had a bad rep anyway. He was one of the nasty boys, if you remember that. So that was the first thing I ever taped on the VCR. I watched it a few dozen times. It was good stuff.
Who was the other? Was it Lenny Dykstra? Wasn't he like Mr. Dirty?
He was. He went to prison, as I recall.
So
he was Mr. Dirty, and I believe he went to prison for some bad stuff too. I don't know how we get on this out after Snooker magazine pop out.
I just happened to open to the inside or the outside cover of Snooker Science, September 1991. There it is, Jimmy White's Snooker for the Commodore Amiga.
It's the best snooker game I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
And one of the best bar-related games, although bar games is awful fun. I do like that.
You've yet to still record
someday,
part two of bar games.
Had some technical difficulties. Prevented part 2 from being filmed. Well, thank you, Folds.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris. We really appreciate
I can't wait to show the kid these.
all of the snooker goodness. And fusion, man. I mean, I somebody posted this on the Discord, and I thought, boy, that sounds cool, and I forgot all about it, and now I've got it right here in my hand.
There's so many nutty magazine stuff popping up that it's hard. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. What
we thought that the era of paper was dead, but it's still swinging.
Hey, the era of retro fans spending bucks is begun in earnest.
Did you ever read any zines back in the day?
I did. In fact,
were you the author of a couple zines back in the day?
No. I did. Well, I mean, it depends on when you say zines. You mean
I'm talking about the photocopied, and stapled in the copy room.
I've still got some of them too. Cocoa ones. I had some that, like I said, I used the pen pal part in the back to trade software with people.
Oh, cool.
Which is what those were basically for. I mean, that's what I skip all the articles are written by just goofs or kids. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. But I've got some old role playing ones too, and some Star Trek ones. So I've got some old zines. I've even got some old hacker ones.
Sometime we should do an insert disc too. Just bring your zines over.
I'll dig some up and put them together.
All right, I've got to actually take this call. This is about a tuba that I'm trying to buy.
You can take it on air.
Hello. Hey, how's it going, Stefan? Good. Oh my gosh.
A tuba. So, well, he's jacking around with the tuba. I'm going to hijack the show. So, the last couple weeks have been quite interesting. 2 weeks ago, and I don't think I mentioned this in the show, maybe just briefly, I went to a horror convention in Charleston, West Virginia. It was called Shaka Khan, just like the singer, and it was a little convention that's held near the local civic center. It's actually in a Shriners clubhouse, which if you're not familiar with the Shriners, they're sort of like the Masons or something. They've got their own clubhouse. And the main guest of honor was, and I don't remember her last name, but her first name is Jyote. She's the world's smallest living woman. And she's from India. And I think she's about... from the table up, she's about yay tall lady. And, boy, she's super nice. If you watched American Horror Story, she was in the Freak Show season, ironically. And she played, what was her name? The Little Princess or something. I can't remember. But she got brutally, well, not brutally, but she did get killed in that. But it was real neat to see her. It's amazing that people that small can be stomping around. I'm talking about Chaka Khan, the world's smallest woman. So how'd it go? Are you getting the tuba?
I lost the tuba.
No, man.
Yeah, it's a killer deal. 3/4, four valve rotary, Würzburg.
I don't know what any of that
killer model.
Is it a proper tuba, the big kind of big tall number?
That's the big tall number with the boop to boop.
And what was this going to go for?
Well, the new, you're going to pay $5-6 grand for this thing. They had a like new, with the case, $1,000. You never see that. And of course, while I was trying to set up, when you purchase stuff through schools, it's not just like handing them a credit card. You got to go through nonsense. And they were trying to set up the nonsense for me, and somebody bought it out from under me. Well, so you win some, you lose some in life, especially with tubas.
To be fair, though, and to put it in perspective, no one gives a crap about tubas. And no one likes them. Nobody wants to carry one. They're the mutt of the low brass section.
I'll kill you.
I'm just telling you.
Tubas are great. The baritone.
They're great to carry around. They're great to dance with. That's a lot of fun.
Man,
walk in the mud.
Dancing tubas.
Yeah, they fall. I'm telling you, I've seen people slip in the mud with a tuba and crack their, tail and the bell. I've seen them whack each other with the tuba. I saw a guy. I was at a football game when I was in college, and this is the sousaphone, so it's still pretty huge. Mm-hmm. And this guy was hassling this dude's girl. All right. He just walked up beside the guy and went, boom, and just bonged him. I mean, it was like he doinked him.
You don't want to catch the business end of a sousaphone.
He did, and this guy dropped like that. He was down. It was great.
See?
Now, it turns out the guy that did that, he's also an abusive jerk. Oh. But still, for that one brief moment, his abuse paid off. Yeah. So, but I've seen people rumming into each other and destroy both the bells. In parades, I've seen them tip over and hit the cement. Mm-hmm. No good.
The fun never stops with tubas.
Yeah, if you play a tuba, you're some kind of masochist. I remember poor Hose, because Hose is not much taller.
Did he play tuba?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
And Hose is just a little bit shorter than a tuba. Mm-hmm. He's about 4'3".
Yeah,
I don't know how tall he is. But he would get this tuba on, and he would just sort of disappear. It was just like a ball of hair and a tuba trotting around. You know, he didn't play senior band. The back gave out that year. He couldn't do it. That was it. That was it for him, man.